For today's video, we're gonna take this guy, the Onewheel Pint, on an airplane.
What is this?
So I'm gonna do a little research, find out what's the best airline to travel with a Onewheel, and then show you guys what I figure out. Take this on a plane, see if I can get through security with TSA and all that stuff, figure out what's the best way to carry this thing, whether it be backpack or just not cover it or whatever, and then ultimately go to New York. And then once I get to New York, there's this really cool aqueduct trail. So apparently this aqueduct used to feed New York City back in the 1800s. So I'm gonna take this trail that runs along the river up to the dam. I think I have the range to get there. It's getting colder, so I don't know, we'll find out. So stick around for that. We'll see if I can make it and see if I can figure out what's the best airline, bag, all that stuff to travel with a pint. Let's get to it. I was wanting to bring my Onewheel with me as a carry-on bag, and I was just wondering if that was allowed. I didn't see any restrictions for any like electric devices other than just what the TSA recommends. I didn't know if you guys had anything more stringent. It's a Onewheel. It's like an electric balancing board for like getting steady video shots and stuff like that you just stand on.
Oh yes, sir, that would be fine. Does it have like batteries?
It does. It's got a 146 watt-hour battery.
Let me just shift that. 1 moment.
I mean, some people call it like an electric skateboard. I mean, it's got one wheel though. It's not four like with the skateboards. It's a little bit different. But
Type of item is okay. I just want to check the battery and make sure that it's fine.
okay.
It's not a lithium-ion battery.
It is lithium-ion, yeah.
So it's greater than 100 watt-hour, but not exceeding 160.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, they are fine.
That's fine? Okay.
Yes.
Do I need to do anything when I show up at the airport or just bring it like a carry-on?
Or just if you have any spare batteries, don't put them in your check bag. Put them in your carry-on.
Okay.
No, there's nothing special.
Okay, well great. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, a lot of the other airlines don't let you take these, I guess because they had those hoverboards like a few years ago from China that caught on fire and they got scared of them. But it seems like you guys didn't put any policies in place around that, which is great because all these other boards that come out that are really nice. It's nice to fly with them. So, well, that's great to know. Well, thank you very much, Randy. You've been really helpful.
Sure, my pleasure. Thanks for calling Southwest.
All right, have a great day. So she said I was good to go, but I gotta say I was still a little worried. So I decided to pull out my phone and look up on their website and just search for the term hoverboard because it seemed like, I was just surprised there was nothing on there. I was surprised she said it was okay. And sure enough, when I do that, I find that they have a very similar policy to all the other airlines. And due to concerns regarding lithium-ion batteries used in hoverboards, balance boards, gravity boards, self-balancing devices. The self-balancing devices term in there, and they said that they're not allowed in their planes. So, but she just told me it was okay. So, you know, I was like, well, okay. She said it was okay, they said it's not. Just me calling them up and them telling me it's okay over the phone is not gonna protect me on the plane. So what I decided to do was order a duffel bag. This is the guy I went with. This guy, Olympia 30-inch duffel. I found some other people online that had used it successfully with Onewheel before. So I figured I'd give it a shot. It was 20 bucks on Amazon, so it's hard to beat that. The other backpacks that I found looked really cool, but they were like $100 or $200, so I'm gonna have to hold up on that. Maybe one day, but I think I've bought enough Onewheel accessories for now, so this is a good option. And this thing was made for, people were using this with a Onewheel Plus or XR, so the pint should fit pretty good. Just leave this guy in there. Not bad. And it's small enough that you can throw a helmet in there too. Zips up's nice. Pretty good quality. Comes with a little shoulder strap. I mean, for 20 bucks, you really can't go wrong. I mean, it gets the board in there. I mean, it definitely have space for all kind of stuff, but I didn't want to weigh it down too much. It's already really heavy, and I wanted to keep it as small as possible so it doesn't like totally cram up the overhead bin, because it's already gonna be kind of an awkward size. I ended up using the green Onewheel here because, so this one does not have the solo plate on it. And so you can see on the bottom here, it's got the Onewheel information there. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the watt-hour rating of the battery and all that stuff, so that way in case the airline or TSA gives me any grief about this thing, I'll be able to show them that it is within the FAA guidelines for size. So the FAA says that anything between, as you heard from the woman saying, 100 watt-hour to 160 watt-hour is fine as long as you get airline approval. I got that verbally. It's not on the website, so yeah, we're gonna see what happens. All right, let's get to it. It's a one wheel.
A what?
A one wheel?
A one wheel. Oh!
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Got it.
Yeah.
I see now.
It's got the watt hour rating and stuff like that on the bottom of it. You can see that.
Oh,
The size of the
it just
battery.
looks really weird on the...
I bet, yes.
I was going to take a guess, but then I was like,
Oh, what would you guess?
It looks like an instrument almost on here. Like
An instrument, really?
So you're all set.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Good morning.
Southwest Airlines and we're going to be direct to welcome you to LaGuardia.
Well, I made it. I gotta say, it is awesome having this one wheel here. I mean, for sure, it was a little bit of a pain going through the airport thing and lugging it around. It's definitely not light, even though the Pint is, well, pint sized. It's still pretty heavy. Now, I will say I feel like I'm a little bit pushing my luck carrying this thing on, since the airlines do explicitly say no self-balancing boards, and this is definitely a self-balancing board. But, you know, even though they say that, at least the FAA and TSA don't say that's illegal, because this is only 146 watt hour and they allow anything up to 160. So at least I feel like I'm not going to get in major trouble, but it still worries me, like on a connecting flight or something. I don't know what's going to happen, right? If one of the airlines goes, hey, what's in that bag? Oh, it's a one wheel. Yeah, I called and they said it was okay, but you know, it's a self-balancing board. Oh, okay, so now you got to leave it here. So makes me nervous. So anyway, at least, you know, this has been my experience, so hopefully that will help you guys decide what you want to do. There are some other options too if you don't want to try to carry this board on. You know, I traveled with my Onewheel Plus all over the world. I went to Australia a couple times with it earlier this year. I got some videos about that if you haven't seen those. But what I did with that board was I ended up taking the battery out of the board and just kind of disassembling the board, checking the remnants of the board, and then carrying on the battery. Since the battery is just a battery, the TSA and FAA guys don't really care. It's like less than 160 watt hours, so that's good. And the board and the checked luggage, I guess it probably just doesn't pop up on their radar because it doesn't have this huge battery bank, and they just see some disassembled pieces and don't think anything of it. I usually put a note in there saying that it's a disassembled one wheel with battery has been carried on and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so that's how I've gotten away with that in the past. I didn't want to take this Pint apart though because it's brand new. You know, I don't want to pick something brand new apart. But anyway, that's kind of why I decided to see if I could check this thing, or that's why I decided to see if I could carry this thing on this time. And it worked, and you could probably do it too. It's just a matter of you might be pushing your luck a little bit. Oh, so right here, that's one of the ventilation shafts for the Aqueduct. So this goes all the way to New York City, and apparently you can take this trail all the way to the Bronx. So if anyone has ridden this Aqueduct trail to the Bronx, I'd love to hear about it, because that's something I might want to try to do in the future. I don't know that I have time to do on this trip, but that would be super cool. It's a really cool trail. It's really pretty out here. But anyway, back to flying with this thing. So that's been my experience. You know, take it for what it's worth. Hopefully it helps you guys if you're thinking about flying yourselves. So if you liked the video and you found it somewhat helpful, you know, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this kind of content, consider subscribing to see some more one wheel and boosted board and e-bike, motorhomes. Sorry, I'm trying not to bust on these ruts. And anyway, yeah, just subscribe to see more of that stuff. And and gear reviews, because this has all been shot on the new GoPro Max. Really liking this camera, and I'm gonna do like a full-on review video of that pretty soon, where I compare that with my GoPro Hero 7 and my Insta360 One. So definitely look for that coming up soon, because I'm looking forward to doing an in-depth review on this guy.
that dam was really cool. It was really pretty, but I've got less than 40% of my battery left. I've gone a little over 4 miles, so I probably got like 3 miles left to go on the way back. Maybe 4 miles left with 40%. I suspect I'm gonna be walking in the dark. Oh, it's cold out right now. I mean, it's like 40 degrees, so yeah, I should have like mapped out. I had no idea how far. I couldn't find any good maps on this trail. Yeah, not great. It's still amazing though. Down to less than 30% of battery. Not good. It's getting very cold. I'm going as slow as possible to minimize my battery usage here. Let's see. 28%. No. You know, I gotta say, if you were at all thinking about getting one of these boards, anything that will get you outside more, and even, you know, starting a YouTube channel for that matter, I mean, both of those things for me help to kind of push me and motivate me to get out and do more, which I absolutely love. You know, it's like I find both those things, having the channel, wanting to like get out and explore and see more stuff and do more stuff, and then wanting to take this board with me and then see more stuff as well. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that if I had come up here before without having one of these boards, I would have just probably stayed in my hotel room and watch TV or watch something like that, you know, maybe watch YouTube. But now having this for myself and having my own YouTube channel makes me want to create stuff and see stuff and experience things, and I just can't recommend it more. So if you're on the fence about getting one of these things, about getting anything that will like help to motivate you or engage you to get outside and do more stuff and be with nature and stuff, I highly recommend it. So I think they're not talking to me. Guys, you really got to update this stuff. You're talking about motorcycles, right? That's what we're going with. Had to bust out the flashlight. This is what it looks like without the flashlight. It's something, but it doesn't do much. This is way better. I'm at less than 5%. So it died, but I made it back to civilization. And I'm basically back at the place I'm staying, so I'm only gonna have to walk about a half a mile. Not too bad. App said I did about 6.5 miles with how cold it was and the fact that it was off-road. I'd say that's a win. That was an awesome ride. If you guys stuck around, I appreciate it. Highly recommend that Aqueduct Trail if you haven't done it. And talk to you guys later. See ya.
The nice thing is, since the pint is the nice thing is, since the pint's smaller, I was able to hit the. The nice thing is, take this guy. Oh.
When it says it's southbound, bleh. So if you like this video and you want to send more, definitely consider subscribing on bleh.